everybody, welcome back to Blackgirlcinema. It's your girl Odie signing in, and today we're going to talk about the 2008 Peter Berg directed film Hancock. Now, this is going to be the first of what I would like to call What's Your Beef Wednesdays. So these films are going to be films that I didn't particularly find bad, but they have terrible reviews, and most people hate these films. Now, some of these films are eventually going to be some of my favorites, and others of them are going to be films I don't really care for, but I still think that they're okay. So Hancock is one of those films that it wasn't that bad, but people really dogged this film. Why, y'all? Will Smith is the greatest to me. I can't do that to him. I can't. So basically we have a superhero comedy drama. We got Will Smith as John Hancock, and he is this vigilante superhero, but he seems to be messing stuff up. He causes more damage than all of the Avengers and all the Marvel movies that's been going on for the past however many years. He causes so much damage, and it's never really that productive. So people started to hate him, basically. So enters this great PR agent by the name of Ray Embry, and he is played by Jason Bateman. And we also meet his wife, Mary, who was played by Charlize Theron. I don't know how to say her name, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Okay, so he meets these two, and basically what Ray is trying to do is to get Hancock to reinvent himself. He's thinking to him, hey, you know, you could really use some PRing. You know how these celebrities, sometimes they do some crazy stuff. They tweet crazy things when they shouldn't be. And so you need a PR agent to come and clean up your act so that people are going to be nice to you and they like you again. So he basically is trying to convince Hancock to go to jail so that he can serve some time for the crimes that he has committed, or the damage that he has caused, rather, trying to be a vigilante superhero in the city. So he eventually goes to jail. Now, mind you, he's stronger than everybody. He can destroy everything. He's basically just there to serve his time. So while he's there, he gets into some crazy fights with some crazy people. He gets on some people's nerves. He goes out of the jail, comes back in. He does all of these things, and then eventually he gets to the point where he's fed up. He's like, hey, they're supposed to be calling for me now, but it hasn't happened yet. So Ray just convinces him to stick in there, and you know, eventually they're going to be calling for him. Eventually he comes, and he is called to stop a bank robbery that is in progress. They have hostages. He gets there, he does some crazy stuff. He has this thing, he doesn't like to be called an a-hole. So the guy calls him the a-hole, he chops off his hand. It's a really great scene. They're happy. He's got on his new suit, his new superhero suit. He's telling everybody good job. He's saying thank you for your service to make everybody feel appreciated. He's doing all these things that Ray told him to do to reinvent himself. So time goes on, and after they celebrate that great accomplishment with him stopping the robbery, they go out to dinner, and he tells his story about how he's immortal and how he got the name John Hancock. He tells how he wakes up in a hospital and they ask for his John Hancock, and so he signed John Hancock, and that's how he got his name. He said all he had in his pocket were, I think, some movie tickets to go see Frankenstein, and basically it was a long, long time ago. So eventually they go back. Ray is drunk, so he puts him in the bed and he's getting ready to go, and Mary's down in the kitchen. They're having a moment. They almost kiss, and then she almost kills him, so she throws him out of the front window. Yeah, so all of a sudden she's like Superwoman or something. So the next morning he comes back and he's like breaking all this stuff on her, like trying to figure out how is she, you know, this strong. And it's a really, really funny scene. That scene is really, really funny to me. He's breaking all this stuff on her, and you know, Ray's in the background on the phone like, hey, if you guys mind, you know, they're making a little bit of noise. Meanwhile, he's like breaking things on her skin, and anyway, it's a really funny scene. So then he says, you know, we need to talk, we need to come to my place. So she comes over to his place. He goes to his trailer in the middle of wherever he lives, And they're talking, and he's like, okay, what are you? What are we? What is this? And she's like, oh, we're brother and sister. And it's like, no, we're not. You would not kiss me like that if we're brother and sister. Anyway, long story short, do I want to spoil the film for you guys? Have you not seen Hancock? You guys have seen Hancock. Come on. Anyway, it's no big surprise. So eventually we find out that they used to be married, and the reason why he woke up in a hospital having brain damage, or memory loss rather. They were about to get mugged, and he was trying to stop the people from mugging her, or hurting her rather, and that's how he got hurt. So she tells him that, hey, you're weak because we're near each other. So the closer we are to each other, the weaker you're gonna get. So you could die, I could die. There's this whole scene, people are trying to like kill him, and she's feeling the pain too. It's really, really crazy. That part of the storyline, I gotta be honest, I think that's where a lot of people have their gripe with this film. I don't know if it's the whole race thing. I mean, it's really not a big deal. Everybody knows that, you know, symbolically, as far as literature goes, sorry, this is going a little bit into English, but symbolically, the white woman is like the trophy or the prize of America. So it's kind of like, oh, his kryptonite, rather, he's Superman, like his kryptonite is a white woman. I get that you might be a little, you know, feeling some kind of way about it, but it's really not that big of a deal. I, on the other hand, don't really get how that's supposed to work. Okay, they're attracted to each other, they're in love, they're supposed to be married, they're both immortal, but for some reason, if they're together, they're weak. And it's just like, okay, all these other times that he had been getting hurt, or, you know, all that other stuff, she didn't feel it, but all of a sudden, in that last final scene, they're like, it's like terrible. He's a solid superhero. The storyline made sense, you know, he's immortal, he lost his memory, you know, she decided, hey, let me try to get away from this guy, but eventually they're going to get attracted to each other again. The only thing with it is that I would have loved to get a little bit of the backstory of what they are, like, are they superheroes, are they mythological creatures, do all of them have the same powers, why is the female more strong than the male? There's a whole lot of questions there, but it would have been great to get a Hancock 2 so we could get a little bit more into the story. Like I said, something that I notice about a lot of Will Smith films, the ideas behind the films are always genius, but the execution is not always there. I really, really wish that Will Smith would get a little bit more into directing his own films. He can definitely do it. He has the same amount of talent, in my opinion, as Denzel Washington, and he can direct his own films. But it's just sometimes the execution of the ideas don't quite go off as geniusly, can I make up a word? Geniusly as they should. But all in all, I really feel like Hancock is a solid film. So how we're going to do What's Your Beef Wednesdays is, I'm going to, whatever film that I review, I want you guys to put down in the comments what your beef with this film is. If you are one of the negative Nancys about this film, what is it that you hate? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to know, and we can have a little discussion. So that's how What's Your Beef Wednesdays are going to go. As they go on, you're going to get into some of my favorite films that are also my guilty pleasure films. But that's going to be later on in the year. So thank you all so much again for watching. Don't forget to check out my last video on Bright, another Will Smith film. So Will Smith week, I guess. More films are coming next week and the end of the month. February, look out for a lot of great Black History Month films. I will catch you all later right here on Blackgirlcinema. Bye!